Okay, this is the Roberts R606. I'm just having a quick look in the battery compartment, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 batteries, so that's 1.5 volts each, 3, 6, 9 volts. So I'm going to pop my bench power supply on this again, just for quickness. Just going to hook it straight up across the rather corroded, actually. I need to do some work on there. Tighten those terminals up. Okay, that's in underneath. Okay, I've whipped the battery tray out and just connected my power supply in underneath, so that's powered up. So 9 volts coming in, turn it on. So start with a long wave. Oh, nothing. Dead. Let's have a look, make sure my terminals are still on. Not touching anything. Totally dead. Ooh. Okay. It could be the on-off switch, so let me just have a quick look at that. There is some modules in this one as well, but strange, no pop or anything from the speaker. So I'm just going to whip the chassis out and have a quick look on this one. Can't be that too difficult to fix. Bear with me. Well, just for info, what I'm going to do, there's 2 screws on these. One nut here and one exactly the same in the other side. Just there. Just a case of loosening them up. You need to loosen the, or remove the aerial. So we've got the right size screwdriver there. So let me do that a minute. I'll get the chassis out and have a look. I've got the chassis out. Let's zoom in a little bit so I can show you what I'm doing. Just quickly going to test the a bit too close. Let's go back a bit. The switch here. So we've got the live coming in to this one, and then live coming out of that when the switch is operated. Let's make sure we've not got a dodgy connection there. No, that looks okay. So if I go across that, so I'm just on continuity with my multimeter here. So nothing, no resistance, turn it on. Appears the switch is working then. So let's see if we've got any voltage going to there. 20 volts DC scale. Just get it back on my bench supply. Could of course be a dirty switch inside, but then saying that, we've got continuity, so I don't know what that's about. Let's go straight onto the switch then. This might be that dirty terminal. Ah. Ah, got Jimmy now. I'm an old man. Well, it looks like it was that disgusting terminal. You can see that one's going to have to come off anyway, because the battery terminal, where are we, is so badly corroded it's fused onto the fused on, the spade connector's fused onto the tag there, so I'm just going to have to whip that one off, see if I can ease. I mean, you can see the corrosion, obviously batteries leaked on that at some stage. I'm going to have to prise that off and stick another spade connector on there, not a problem. But yeah, it's just that, unless there's a break on the track somewhere. Say we can check that as well. Let's just pop the power back off. Let's get back onto the continuity tester. Let's try it with a bit of wiggling. So nothing. Nothing. Maybe there is a break on the track. Let me just take that end piece off a minute. Just cut that right off, out of the way. Nasty old thing. Got a bit of dirty wire. He thinks we're going to have to change this bit of wire. Still nothing. No continuity. Make sure I'm working okay. Yeah. So let's try the connection on the PCB to there. That's purely because that's just a terminal. Okay, let's try this terminal over here then. It's got continuity as well. Okay, we've just dug out a board from Robert's R606 MB. This is the one with the mains power supply in the battery compartment. You can see there is quite a few differences. We've got two modules in this one. Where there's no modules, there's an FM tuner module in it, which is the same, but certainly it hasn't got these other tuners, modules even. So yeah, this one could turn out to be pretty tricky to work on, but one thing is, we haven't got another one of these, just the R606. This is a 606 MB, which is mains or battery. This is just the R606. Dates from mid-70s, I think, 76, somewhere around there, 75, 76. But certainly the wiring is very similar. So the board layout's not identical, but it's not far off. So that's our mains lead coming in there, and this is the switched wire. If I pop the board over, there's clearly a track between those two connections on this one. On this one, there definitely isn't. So we've just got power coming in and going out to nowhere. So I've got a schematic here. I'm just going to have a quick look through, so I shall report back my findings in a second. Okay, hopefully you can see this. What I found is there's two wires soldered together. Now this is the circuit diagram for it. So the negative side of the battery just go straight down to the earth rail, and everything else is tagged off of this. This is the positive side at the top. You see that's coming up, and before it gets to the switch up here, it's actually passing through a socket number 2, which I think socket number 2 3.5 volt jack for earphone, coax VHF, 6mm socket for external power supply. So although it's a battery only, it has in the back, and we can see that there, got a socket 9-volt pin, so available with an adapter, I'm assuming, from Roberts to connect it to the mains. So usually with these they've got a little switch, and you can see from the schematic there, don't think I can get you in any closer on that without it going, I might be able to. Yeah, so you can see it's not very clear, this circuit diagram actually, but there is a switch there. So it looks like between the brown wire, and I can't see the colour on the other one there, but we need to check that switch out next, so let's have a look at that on the radio itself. So can you see that one there? Not quite, let's just put you that way a little bit. This is the switch, so what's happening is underneath the board, on following this wire back through, if we look back, let's see if I can get you in the camera shot. Left is right, right is left, and all that sort of thing. Yeah, here, this is our incoming wire. They've got this brown wire here, which is actually soldered in underneath the board. They're actually soldered together. I don't know if you can see that. This big gap, where are we? Where's my screwdriver? Come here. Come on. Not nearly that. Yeah, just there. So this big lump here is where those two wires are soldered together. So the brown wire is coming up. Fed wire there. Coming in, the black wire I'm assuming is an earth wire, ground wire. Yes, it is. So the switch is between these two wires, the brown and the red. So basically it comes up through here. If that switch isn't made, it comes back through and then up to the volume control. So between the brown and the red, we have got continuity there. Strange, but still nothing between there and this red wire. Okay. Bear with me, I'm going to do some more probing about and see what I can find. Okay, after all my probing and searching around and trying to find a fault, all my continuity tests were positive, all okay. So I thought, well, what's going on? So what I've done is I've reconnected it to the power supply. It's working. Oh. Let's not touch them together. Yeah, it's working. So it might just be, I might need to just change that red wire. There might be an issue with that one. I'll check the soldering in underneath. It's not particularly pretty looking joint under there. But yeah, so let's give it a try. Long wave. usual noises from all my equipment.
And then a few months later I thought, no, that was the last one. I'm not doing another.
I still find it scary having the goal.
It's very scary, and then not the last play, but the play before I did.
That's a nasty, dirty speaker, that one.
Don't forget that moment.
It's filthy, look. See the dust bouncing. So, yeah, long wave works, medium wave.
But yeah, it's just a bit of a challenge to look after the place. With
medium wave works.
It's always a balancing act.
The same development requirements.
So you would kind of physically be setting up, you know, specific activities. So rather than saying to the child, you know, here's the room of toys to play with, you would be setting up certain things.
Yeah, it's a combination
bass and
of
treble
both.
works.
We know our children individually. We know what stage of development they're at. We know where we'd like them to go next. We know how we're going to get them there when we make activities to support and stimulate that development to ensure they get there. And children are very much treated as individuals.
So, let's try VHF. Pull this dead aerial up. Let's see if we've got anything there.
No 2 days are alike. So.
Oh, sorry. I was thinking we were engaged.
Very powerful one, I think.
Not the first time.
Right. Where do we go with this one then?
No idea.
No. I don't know. Anyway, you're.
No, I have.
Action with me right on my guest, Alison Steady. The producer was Richard Morris, and it was a BBC radio
There we are, everything working. That's good because I want to restore this one and keep this one. Not got another R606 and I thought I did. Okay, and welcome back to a rather messy workbench by now. A couple of things. I've decided I'm going to do a quick restoration on this one. I've whipped the top off. As I say, it's a 606, not a 606 MB, so that's really why I'm really interested in this one. I say the MB is a totally different setup altogether, a different board. It hasn't got the modules in. I've had a quick look through the holes in the modules, and these are the silicone transistors in these, not the old AF series, AF11 series. So should be pretty reliable. Shouldn't need to touch those. There is some alignment info, but for some reason I've got holes in the module for alignment and nothing in there to align, so that's a bit strange. But yeah, this one's going to sit in my collection. As you can see, it's just a bit dusty. I found another aerial for it. It's a brand new aerial, exactly the same as the R600 aerial, which you can still get off of eBay. I think Roberts do them as well actually, but for a different set. And I've also found another treble control knob with the actual top on it. So I'm going to clean all this lot up. The case is looking okay. I've just whipped the handle off. That's the keyhole slot. Just push it, and these. And welcome back to my workbench. So I've been continuing with the sort of what I'm trying to do is a one-day restoration on this Roberts R606. Battery terminals were absolutely shocking. One of them was really badly corroded, so what I've been doing this morning is just cleaning these up. Tried a wire brush, wouldn't touch it, so I had to use a little grinding wheel in the end on my mini tool. So they come up pretty well. I've tinned this one with some silver solder to give it a good contact, and by the time I'd got all the tarnish and that off of it, this particular lug here was wafer thin, so I've just beefed that up with a bit of solder. hopefully that'll last now, won't snap off. Terminals back in, nice and shiny. I'm just going to put some batteries in that in a minute and just check that it's making good contact, but I'm sure it is. Anyway, hopefully be finished soon. Welcome back. I'm just going over, giving this a final polish up, the front or the top plate, dial plate, I don't know what you call it. Again, I'm just using some of this plastic polish you've seen if you've watched my previous videos. I've given it a go over with number 3, which is a heavy scratch remover, because there's some quite deep scratches around the area of the on-off volume control and the tuning control, so that's the 2 areas where I've had to concentrate the most. Just giving it a final going over with the fine one now. Once again, we have a nicely polished top piece. It does make all the difference on these radios if you can strip it and clean this bit. It really does bring them out. Anyway, onwards and upwards. Just a quick go through the capacitors on this one. As I say, it is a radio from the early 70s, so these are probably out of date anyway, but gone through them, and there's only I think one intolerance. Yeah, there's only one intolerance. The worst one is this one here, 680 microfarads, actually reading 951. I've actually checked them with this peak ESR meter as well, so there's no high ESR on any of them, but I say some of them are way out. So I'm going to have a search through now and see what I've got that's within the tolerance of the original cap. So I've managed to dig out all the capacitors to change these. The disappointing thing is I haven't got any actual 47 microfarads, only these little black ones, but I say that's not going to hurt. I'll order some up anyway, just so I got some for the future. It's the trouble, every time you come across one of these radios, they're all different, so I tend to order stuff that I've had to cobble up, and there we are. So what I'm going to do next, I'm going to take all these out, and I'm not going to bore you with the process of doing that. I've got one leg lifted of each anyway, so I'm going to do them one at a time. I suppose really I should test it one at a time, but provided I get them in the right way around, there's no reason why they shouldn't work. And I will just quickly put those on my capacitor checker to make sure they're within tolerance. So join me again and I'll have them in. That's the recap done. Just hooked the speaker back up and connected up some power. This is the ones I've changed. So as I say, there's one 680, 3 470s, 2 150s and 2 47 microfarads. As I say, there was only one of the 470s that's actually in sort of 20% tolerance. So the new red positive lead in there, look. I put a new spade end connector in. I've just put a bit of shrink sleeve over the end just to hold it all in place, and I have soldered that in as well just to make doubly sure. So I've remade a couple of the joints here as well, because we had some problems with it not working initially. So I've remade the joints on the external power plug, and also I've remade these joints here joining the board and the two to the switch. So let's put some power on it, make sure I'm connected the right way up. That's good news, it still works. On that. No,
Civic Theatre in Chelmsford this weekend on Saturday night from 7:30 together with the...
That's FM working. As I say, the only two that are a little bit out of place are these two little black ones here, 247 microfarads. But as I say, not overly worried about that. The rest of them just look, they're all blue, which looks quite nice in these. There we are, onto the case. Let's get that finished and we put it back together. The case back together after it's been oiled. What I did with this one is I took this grey piping out of the way just to make the case a bit easier to work on. So I'm just in the process of putting all that back in, so back on. So next job, and one that's very fiddly, is going to be touching up this grill. As you can see, there's little areas that have missed, or that have been just knocked off. There's a very slight dent in it there where something's hit the front of it, so I'm going to push it out from behind. And a little tiny one there as well. So I'm going to get on with that and join me when that's okay. And here we are back with the finished product. So set myself a target on this one for a refurbishment in less than 24 hours. So it's been sort of flat out, but here's the end result. What have I done then? Basically a really good clean. I've Danish oiled the sides. I've painted in the scratches and straightened the grill out. Danish oil on the other side. Back all cleaned. I've touched up a couple little scuffs with some scuff coat, and there it is. So let's have a look, see if it works. Let's start on long wave. I've got some batteries in it. That's what took me the longest, was finding some batteries that fitted, but I've robbed them out of another radio now. So the usual noise.
Do you feel any sense of shame about what was done by Serb forces in Bosnia?
No, Serb forces were heroes.
The prosecutor, Serge Bramert, said he was absolutely convinced that many people, including victims' families,
French station, so long wave working, medium wave.
There's just over a month until we go to the polls for the National Assembly election. I'm Jason Mohammed, and it could just be something that will help the youngsters like Stones and one or two others. Give him an opportunity. Don't say, would you like to help us out, but I do you to play. Get him in, give him... Jason Mohammed.
Well, medium wave picking up loads of stations, look, so really, really good. Very sensitive. So, VHF.
In Washington tonight for a summit on nuclear security.
And without the aerial up even, let's pop the aerial up. So I popped a new aerial in this one. Genuine sort of replacement aerial.
Proliferation was one of President Obama's earliest foreign policy goals, and the deal signed with Iran last year is seen on.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's a real honour, and like I said, you know, the names are also in my category. It's slightly daunting, to be honest, but very happy to be there.
Nuclear weapon and.
Extra a month for 6 months, then standard price currently 18. Replaces current TV offer, terms and
Eddie the Eagle, well worth a watch.
Yes.
That comes highly recommended from the Plum.
Correct, I am.
Charles Dutoit conducting the Montreal Symphony Orchestra. We heard the Waltz of the Flowers from Nutcracker by Tchaikovsky.
based on engines tested in dirty versus condition, and for Ultima unleaded versus RON 95. Benefits.
There you go. I'm very pleased with that. It's good radio, very good radio. So, front panel, as I say, this is the R606. I don't know whether they're less common or not, but I've not seen them up for sale really. Station markers are all there. As you can see, I've polished the front. Sort of scavenged some knobs off of other stuff just to get the best of the knobs really. I have got a brand new one, but the D is just not the same size. So say it's a 606. There's no main socket on it. The MB, which seems to be a lot more popular, has got a main socket. It's got 9 volt in the back, but I can't find anything with a long enough reach to go in there, unfortunately. So I've got it on some batteries. The bottom, it's unusual, this one, because it doesn't have a swivel base. It's got feet on it. Now the original feet, I think, were this. So all I've done is just pinch some rubber caps off some Duracell 9 volt batteries and just use them for the time being. If I find or come across any, I will swap them back out. Yes, say hopefully you've enjoyed watching this one. Got 2 more radios to sort out of that job lot that I bought. So this one near mint, I would think, so that one's going straight into my collection. Hope you enjoyed watching this, and if you did, give me a thumbs up and join me again for another video soon.